Welcome to another episode of the Bandage Podcast, a weekly wrap-up of the most trending healthcare news. Each week, we'll discuss the latest in healthcare, health IT, and compliance.
In this week's episode, we discuss monkeypox getting a new name, the effect of human intervention in biodiversity, and the FDA cracking down on vape products. Let's wrap things up. So this is the episode for the week of December 5th. I'm Matt Moneypenny.
And I'm Albert Battistelli.
Before we get started, our diagnosis code of the week is W61.33, or pecked by a chicken.
That would be terrifying, actually. I hate birds. I hate chickens. Any kind of fowl. I'm done. Nope. I'm out.
Yep. Agreed. That is a foul ICD-10 code, you could say.
Yes, it is.
You probably feel a little foul after you're pecked by a chicken.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hopefully, when you get to the hospital, the customer service isn't foul and is very attentive to your
Rule
needs.
of three. Gotta do three. You gotta do three, Matt. Good job.
I was going to keep going, but since you said that, I'm done. So let's get into it. First up, we've got renaming monkeypox. That's probably a good idea. Human monkeypox was given its name in 1970 before the publication of the World Health Organization's, or WHO's, best practices in naming diseases was published in 2015. According to the WHO's best practices, new disease names should be given with an aim to minimize unnecessary negative impact of names on trade, travel, tourism, and animal welfare, and avoid causing offense to any cultural, social, national, regional, professional, or ethnic groups. The WHO announced that it is renaming monkeypox to Mpox. This change can help enhance the U.S. response to Mpox by using the term that does not conjure bias or stigma. It will aid efforts to reach the most impacted communities with a team for the disease that doesn't act to marginalize individuals from accessing the care, resources, and support they need to protect themselves and others.
Nice.
Yeah, pretty cool. So, Mpox, I like it.
I like it too. Simple, clean. Mpox.
Simple, clean. It's like when an old brand rebrands and they're like trendy.
Yeah, for sure.
Or they go to you have this organization, you're like, hey, our name is Financial Tech Solutions, and then you go to this marketing organization, they go, how about it's just Fine Tech Soul, and you're like, whoa, that's cool.
Right. Or like Dunkin' Donuts, like it went from Dunkin' Donuts to just Dunkin'.
That's a better example.
Dunkin'. And you're like, oh, nice. Yeah, I know that. You still know what Dunkin'. It is.
Right. Love that for us.
Gets to the point clearer.
Love it. Well, awesome. Love that.
Next up.
I think people, one more thing I was just going to say, I think people are going to have less of a negative connotation with Mpox. And most likely people who do have the negative connotation because the disease was called monkeypox, because they didn't take it seriously because it sounded like it was from a zoo, will likely not be able to see the correlation.
Right.
So that's good.
Yeah, it is. Overall, good call. All right, next up, a classic case of human intervention backfiring. Grazed grassland makes up a large proportion of the British countryside and is vital to farming and rural communities. This land is used for food production, but a new study gives more evidence that it could be key to increasing biodiversity and soil health. Researchers at the UK Centre for Ecology and Hydrology studied 940 plots of grassland, comparing randomly selected plots across Great Britain. They compared two groups, intensively managed land and low intensively managed land. The plots were sampled as part of the UK CEH Countryside Survey, a nationally representative long-term dataset. The study counted the number of plant species in sample areas and analyzed co-located soil samples for numbers of soil invertebrates and carbon, nitrogen, and phosphorus levels. Researchers found that less intensively managed grassland had 50% greater diversity of plant species. Strikingly, this correlated with better soil health, such as increased nitrogen and carbon levels, and increased numbers of soil invertebrates, such as springtails and mites.
Yikes. Anything with mites, I hate it.
Mites, ugh, right.
I don't even know what a springtail is, but it sounds gross.
Right. But interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Nonetheless, good to see that, grassland is...
Hopefully this study doesn't get soiled in the future.
That's true. That's true. We want to make sure that it's clean.
Better soil equals better health, Papa John's. This makes sense because, if there's better soil, you can plant more food, and that food then, takes the soil in, and whatever's in the soil will likely end up in the food. So if it's healthy, you're going to have a more plentiful or bountiful, if you will, harvest. And those food plants will also, wait for it, be healthier.
Yeah. Healthy soil equals healthy food. All of this is good. I'm glad.
Kumbaya, my lord. Kumbaya. Next up, we've got the first cracks against vaping. Whoa. Today, 14.1% of high school students say that they vape. But despite the rapid rise in nicotine use, the regulatory response has been slow. In 2020, the FDA initiated a requirement that all e-cigarette products apply for and receive regulatory approval in order to remain on the market. The FDA said that a product could continue to be sold until its application was evaluated. The agency was overwhelmed with nearly 8 million applications for various e-cigarette products. They are very near to the end of its review process. Experts expect that the FDA will step in its removal of various vaping products from the market over the next few months. Last month, the FDA denied e-cigarette maker Logic's application for its menthol e-cigarettes. They were pulled off the market entirely. That marked the first time the FDA denied a menthol product, something it has long treated as being in a separate category from other flavors. Experts say that in the U.S., cracking down on the devices themselves would be the most effective form of prevention.
Interesting.
It's kind of like, so when regular cigarettes came around, right? Everyone hears about this. They thought it was good for you, right? It's all, it's going to prevent, they actually thought it would prevent cancer, right?
Right.
And then it was pushed out on a high level and, commercials, advertising, everything. Boom. Healthy. Doctors were recommending it at one point. It was crazy, right? And then comes to show that it's actually causing cancer and it's bad news, right?
Right.
So they pull everything off, right? They put all these big regulations on it. They ban it from being in advertising on TV. It used to be able in the magazines. I'm not sure if it was still like that, but I remember in health class, they were in magazines at the same time, but I don't know if they're still doing that. But my point is, Albert, that span of time took probably almost 100 years, right? Now, we're in this world where, let's say, I think I heard about e-cigarettes when I was 2012, right? So from 2012 to 2022, we have gone through that entire cycle again.
Yeah.
In 2012, I remember people saying, "Oh, this is a good, healthier alternative to smoking cigarettes." Right? And you could still make the case that it is healthier than smoking cigarettes because there's no secondhand smoke.
Right.
But as time has gone on, Albert, what has happened to e-cigarettes?
Oh, we found out that they're just as bad for you, just as addictive,
if not worse.
If not worse, because you're taking more in.
Yeah. So
and
now
you do it more regularly.
And we're at the point where, when cigarettes were around, kids were smoking cigarettes at a higher rate. Now kids are smoking vapes at a higher rate. And the FDA is like, whoa, we got to do something about this.
Yep.
So at the end of the day, if you want something, if you want the FDA to do something, it has to have a negative effect on children. That's what I'm pulling out of all this.
Yeah, for real. Absolutely. And the thing about this too is that it's specifically marketed towards teens and younger adults, people, I don't know, it's cool and casual, and it's it's not like your parents smoking. This is cool you smoking, and
it's yo, this is technology. That's how they market it, at least.
And it's not even, I don't know, people don't even consider it smoking, which is, I mean, I guess it's not because there's no actual smoke, it's vaping, but it just, I don't know, it does the same thing. It accomplishes the same, scratches the same itch, but without the negative connotation of smoking. But now we're starting to see negative connotations for vaping, which I think is good because it is just as bad. So hopefully within the next couple years, we'll see a reduction in vape adoption, but I'm not sure.
Agreed. And with that, let's go to our next segment.
BREACH, Breach Patrol. It's a breach! All of the latest cybersecurity breaches.
Welcome to Breach Patrol. We talk about the latest breaches all across the world. Oh my goodness gracious, what do we got?
All right, social services need securing. Following a breach in the Tehama County Department of Social Services database, The Californian county is warning some community members their personal information may be misused. An unauthorized party gained access to the county's IT network between November 18th, 2021 and April 9th, 2022. Upon discovering the breach on April 9th, the county immediately took steps to protect and secure its systems. A review of the incident let the county learn that files containing residents' personal information were accessed. The information included a person's name, date of birth, mailing address, social security number, driver's license number, and information related to services received from social services. As of November 16th, the county has not received any reports of fraud related to this incident. To help prevent a similar incident from occurring in the future, the county has implemented enhanced monitoring and alerting software. See, it's not always medical facilities, it's not always banks, sometimes it's just your little county social services database. They're coming everywhere, guys.
Agreed.
Yep.
Watch out. Yep. It's all over the place. It doesn't matter. And
doesn't matter
because social services are a very good, they usually have a positive connotation because they're doing things that are, dealing with children. Unfortunately, the FDA is not involved, so they can't step in, right? Because as we just learned, is if you want the FDA to do something, you got to affect the children. But this is cybersecurity related. So, and it's also, what's crazy is it's also a local government. So it doesn't matter what kind of local government branch you're running. If you're not taking precautions as they pertain to cybersecurity, good luck.
Good luck.
Good luck. Next up, Meta paying the price again. Facebook's parent company, Meta, has been hit with another hefty penalty for breaching European data protection law. The Irish Data Protection Commission, or DPC, is the lead regulator for the European Union General Data Protection Regulation, or GDPR. They announced last Monday that they will fine Meta 265 million euros, or around $275 million in total, which is not good. The penalty relates to an inquiry which was opened by the DPC on April 14, 2021, following media reports of more than 530 million Facebook users' personal data, including email addresses and phone numbers, all being exposed.
Dang.
I mean, it's a big breach just based on the number, right? 500 million people is like, holy smokes.
Right.
Holy smokes, my dude.
Holy smokes, my dude. But it is Meta, which is Facebook, which is all social media at this point. So, yeah. I mean, you can see how getting in there would provide you access to that many accounts.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, at the end of the day, you're just going to get phishing attacks out of this.
Emails and phone numbers, but still,
right.
It's not great.
I mean, if they have another database where they can cross-reference that email and find to see if there's a password leakage somewhere, then maybe they might get into some account information. So it's probably worth changing your passwords anyways. But I feel like phones have gotten a lot better at detecting spam. At least my phone has. Like anytime I get a text message that's like, oh, this might be spam. I don't even see it. It just tells me, hey, you got a text. It might be spam. And then if it's a phone call, it just goes to my voicemail. And it's just, they're talking about my car's extended warranty. And I'm like, I'm out.
Right. Just delete.
But I'm not the target market, right? The target market for these types of breaches are people who aren't tech savvy at all. So
yep, older people, older population.
Yes. Historically older.
Mm-hmm. All right. And lastly, seeing signs of impending lawsuits. 2 class action lawsuits are seeking more than $5 million for customers affected by a computer hack at a US Vision Inc. location in South Jersey. The suits say that the eyewear firm failed to protect the personal information of customers and employees from an online intruder. According to one of the 2 suits, you say suits, right? Yeah, it's just weird. According to one of the 2 suits, the 2021 hack exposed the records of an estimated 710,000 people. The other puts the number of potential victims at 180,000. Both suits say the customer's claims could exceed $5 million. In a notice at its website, US Vision says the hacker primarily accessed customers' names and eye care insurance information. The incident also exposed addresses, birth dates, and other identifying information for a smaller number of individuals. The separate suits were filed recently in Camden Federal Court in the names of Arizona residents Bonita Odell and Ian Torres. Both suits identify US Vision and an affiliate, USV Optical, as defendants. Both firms share an address in the Blackwood section of Gloucester Township.
Well, There they are. See, we got like a triple header here. We got a local government getting breached.
Yep.
We got a massive company getting breached.
Yep.
And we got a lawsuit because of a breach.
A class action. Yeah.
Those are all three things that we talk about all the time.
These are things we need to be.
And I don't think they've ever come together as one. We got the three horsemen here. The Triple Crown.
That's true. This is it. Triple Crown.
It's crazy.
Mistakes. Yeah, for real.
So.
And it just goes to show you that it's pervasive. It's everywhere. Be taking steps.
It's everywhere.
Be proactive.
Yes.
Breaches
It's almost like
real. They're coming
we've
for you.
literally gone through the steps, right? The 3 steps. You get breached. I guess there's 2 steps, but we've gone through like the 3 phases. The part we pretty much explained, no matter what kind of company you are, you're going to get potentially attacked, right?
Right.
But once you get attacked, you have to deal with it. But you also, dealing with it involves potentially getting fined from the government, but you also might get sued now.
Right.
And people are winning because it's like, well, you have my information. Why aren't you keeping it protected? I trusted you to protect my information and you didn't do it, which is a hard lawsuit to win if you're on the other side of it.
It is.
So, well, and we're going to leave you with that. That's it for this week's wrap up of your weekly healthcare news. I'm Matt Moneypenny.
And I'm Albert Battistelli.
And we'll see ya next week.
Thank you for listening to the Bandage Podcast produced by eTactics.